If I typed your name into Google, what would I find? If my website wasn't among your answers, then we need to have a talk. Working as a freelancer means owning your business. And as a business, you need to be represented online. Imagine looking for a brand and not being able to find their website. Makes them feel sketchy, doesn't it? But creating a website on your own can feel a little overwhelming. Don't worry though, it's not nearly as complicated as you think. In this video, we will talk about what a freelancer website should include and give you an easy guide to creating yours. And if you'd be interested in seeing some freelance writer website examples, then let us know in the comments and we will show you our favorite ones later on. Check out the play bar for the topics that we cover in case you want to jump ahead to any, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos like this. And now, let's get started. What should a freelance writer website include? First, of course, a homepage. The homepage is where people get their first impression of you, making it one of the most important pages of your website. People arriving at your page should quickly get a good idea of who you are, what you do, and how to find out more. So there are a few essential things you need to display here. First, a short bio and your picture. Write a sentence or two introducing yourself and your work so people can quickly grasp if you could be a good fit for them. If possible, also add a photo of yourself to show them the person behind it all. Then, your social media links and contact information. Even if you have a dedicated contact page, it's best to make it as easy as possible for anyone to get in touch with you. So display icons for the social media platforms that you're active on, and add at least your email address so people can message you easily. Then, the brands that you've worked with. If you had the chance to work for some great companies, then make sure to feature their logos, testimonials, or the projects that you did for them. This gives you credibility in the eyes of your potential clients and establishes your authority as a professional writer. Then, your very best projects. Speaking of project thumbnails, even if you have a dedicated portfolio page, it's a good idea to showcase your very top projects on your homepage as well. This leads people to check out your most impressive pieces of writing without having to go anywhere else to find it. And last but not least, links to everything else they might want to know. Make sure that every additional detail that's not featured on your homepage can be easily accessible from your top navigation or via buttons. People shouldn't have to wonder where to find your portfolio, contact page, or more information about your services. Number 2 is your portfolio. The second most important page on your website after the homepage is, of course, your portfolio. After all, the whole purpose of your freelance writer website is to show people what a great writer you are and to convince them to hire you. But there are a few things to keep in mind when adding your portfolio to your website. First is to only showcase your best projects. It can be tempting to feature every single project you've ever done, but you definitely shouldn't do that. People wouldn't have time to go through them all anyway. So choose a few of your best samples to make sure that whichever someone clicks on, it's going to be one that you're really proud of. Next, use visually appealing thumbnails and images. They're there to catch your eye and make you click through, so make sure that they do that. Choose a style that you like and stick to it. A few examples would be blocks of colors, simple backgrounds with titles or brand names written on them, illustrations, screenshots in mockups, or photos. Just stick to that style and ensure that all of the thumbnails go well together. And lastly, write brief case studies. When it comes to detailing your projects, you need to create short case studies. Don't just settle for shoving in a picture or extract of the piece that you wrote, when you can make a much bigger impact than that. Think about it as giving people insights to how that specific piece of writing was created. You need to answer questions like, what was the brief that the client gave you? And what was the problem that your writing had to solve? How was your creative process while working on this project? And what solution did you come up with? And if you could measure it, then how did your writing perform? People will expect to see this information, but they won't have the time to read paragraph upon paragraph about it. So you still need to keep it brief though. Number 3 is an About Me page or section. Even though you're representing yourself as a business here, at the end of the day, your clients will be working with you as a person. And as such, telling them more about yourself can help make a more personal connection, increasing your chances for being chosen for the project. So whether it is a longer than a sentence About Me section on your homepage or a dedicated About Me page, it's a best practice to tell them more about yourself and let them know what makes you, you. Number 4 is a services page. As a freelancer, having a services page is really important so that people know what they can expect from you. And all you need to create one is a few text boxes really, so why not? This is where you can detail the types of projects that you can be booked for, how they can reach out to you to make that booking, what they can expect to happen after they hired you, and also your rates if you decide to display them publicly. This page can be a crucial step in converting visitors into paying clients, so don't leave money on the table and create it for yourself. Number 5 is testimonials. Praise from previous colleagues and clients can be very impactful, giving you credibility as a freelancer. There are multiple places on your website to display these testimonials, such as your home, services, or about page, or some people like to add them to the end of their case studies. But it's also pretty common to have a dedicated page just for the testimonials, where you can feature the best glowing reviews you got all in one place. There's not really any correct way to do it, just make sure that you have them somewhere. A good testimonial can be the nudge someone needs to make the decision to hire you. Number 6 is optionally a blog. Adding a blog to their website is something probably most writers have thought about. But do you actually need one? It depends. There are actually 2 good reasons why adding a blog to your freelancer website could be a good idea. One is for SEO purposes. In this case, you're blogging about what you actually do with the aim of people finding it through Google, then going on to learn more about you and eventually hire you. The other one would be for additional content writing samples. If you're a content writer or creative writer and you want to show your writing skills somewhere other than your portfolio samples, then adding a blog could be a good idea. But only if the writing services that you're selling include blog posts or other long-form copy. This way, your readers can get a good idea of your writing styles and skills and whether it fits their needs. But if you only want the blog to write about your life and experiences, then it might be a good idea to set up a completely different site for that. Because it would do little to convince your potential clients to hire you and would distract them from doing what you want them to do on your website. How to build a freelance writer website. There are 3 main ways to do it. Number 1 is to code it on your own from scratch. If you want a completely custom website and you don't want to pay anything for it, other than hosting and domain charges, of course, then you can code it yourself from scratch. If you can code, that is. Or if you don't know how to code but still want a custom website, you can also hire a developer to do it. Fair warning, you might be expected to do the designs yourself still, unless you want to hire someone to do that part too. And you will probably end up paying thousands of dollars for this process. But if you don't know how to code, don't want to spend thousands of dollars and still want to build it yourself, you can also do it with a writer website building tool. Not just any website builder, because that's going to get complex and confusing, but one that was created specifically for writers, just like Copyfolio. That will make the process quick and easy, and the results stunning. So in this next step, let me show you how to build your freelance writer website using a writer website builder, Copyfolio. The first step will of course be creating an account, which you can do by clicking this Create Your Site button. Then choosing your sign-in method, which you will have to use later on too. It can be Google, Facebook, or email. If you chose email, then write your email address. In that case, you will get an email in your mailbox, and when you click the button in there, this is where you're going to end up. In the onboarding, the first thing you have to do is write your name. We're going to create a site for Connie Hazelwood. Then you select your profession. Since this is a freelance writer site, let's do copywriter. And then the goal of your site, I do want to add a portfolio and showcase my services. No blog today though. Once you did that, you can choose your template. As you can see, you can scroll through all the different templates that Copyfolio has. The difference between them is mainly the layout of the top of the homepage and the style of the buttons, and obviously the default colors and fonts, but you can change that later on. For this one, let's go with Premiere. It was super quick, and I already have a starter site set up for me with 3 pages. As you can see, I have a home page, a services page, and a contact me page. Before editing anything, let's see what we actually have here. So first here I have a tagline and an image, then an introduction and experience sections with a few sentences and a button. Then this is going to be a portfolio section where I can add my projects. Then here is a short CV typed in, and a call to action section with yet another button. So let's get started working on this. First, obviously, the tagline. Okay, that's done. As you can see, I could add a button or social media icons underneath. Let's do social icons. Later on, you can go in, click edit social icons to add other ones. We have a very long list here. And of course, swap out the links for your actual profile links. Then let's change the picture. That's perfect. And go on to rewriting the introduction and experience copies. And then we have a button here, so let's see where that leads us. Clicking the edit button, I can see that it navigates to a page, but nothing is chosen, so let's choose services page since it says see what I can offer. I could rewrite that though if I wanted. And then we have the most exciting part, which is the portfolio section. As you can see, there's an add project button where I can add the project. It can be a case study page, I can upload a PDF or add an external link, but let's go with the case study pages now. I'm going to add 2 case studies, and I'm going to also just change their thumbnails quickly. Then rewrite their project titles. But the thing is, it looks a little bit awkward that there should be 3 projects in a row, but I only have 2. So let's go to the section settings to adjust that. I'm going to swap the size of thumbnails from medium to large because then there will be 2 of them. And I'm not the biggest fan of these square-shaped thumbnails, so let's do vertical instead. As you can see, the labels here still say draft page because obviously I just edit these pages, I haven't even touched them, I don't want them to be public. If you do want to edit your case study pages, all you have to do is click the thumbnail and you will get there. The basic layout of the case study page that you get is actually leading you through the ideal case study page, which you will see doesn't include that much text to write, but it has all the important information that potential clients will want to see. First, it has project details, then the creative process, then there's an image, but if you want, you can swap this out, you can just delete this section and add something else in. There's some presets here that could help you. And then in the end, we have some numbers, which can be very impactful in a case study. So feel free to just go through these case study pages and rewrite them however you want. You can keep the structure or you can do something totally different. And once you're done, you can just click the label and set it to public, and then it will appear on your live site. Underneath, we have the CV, but let's say I don't want to have my CV on my homepage, so I can easily just delete these 2 sections to get rid of it. And then in the end, there's this call to action section, which I actually do want to keep, but it says, like my resume, want to work together, and I don't have a resume anymore, so let's just delete that. And of course, check where this button leads us. Nowhere at the moment, so I will direct it to the contact me page. And the tip here is that actually you could also do not navigate page, but open link in new tab and then add a link to your Calendly page so people can book an appointment with you directly for a consultation. Then you would have to probably rewrite this label, but that's a topic for another day. Okay, we're done with our homepage, or if you wanted to add something else, you could quickly just click the Add Section button, and you can see all the different section presets that we have here. Things for introduction, services, FAQs, contact, showcasing your client logos or clients could be a great idea for your homepage. Also testimonials, portfolio, blog. You can add your Instagram feed, which would look stunning here. Or if you're not a fan of the presets, you can just find the basic text and media-based sections here to work with as well. Then let's take a quick peek at our different pages. Here first we have services, where there's a simple sentence at the beginning and then the service is listed here. Service on the left, little description on the right. There are 3 of them here, but you can add as many as you want. All you need to do is just rewrite and customize it to what kind of services you offer. And then by default, you will also find some frequently asked questions here, which can save you a lot of time with the back and forth emailing with clients when they tend to ask the same things anyway. Things like, what happens after I contact you? Can I ask for edits? And so on. And yet another CTA, you can lead them to your contact page or your Calendly or wherever you want them to do. The last one is obviously the Contact Me page, where you have some copy on the left and a contact form on the right. By default, the contact form sends the email to whatever email address you registered with, but if you click the edit button, then you can swap it out for a different email address as well. You can also think about adding some pages if that's not enough for you. We have some presets here as well, things like services, showcasing your work process, showcasing your clients and their glowing reviews. You can add another about page, your resume, and so on. Or if you just want something totally different, you can click blank page and do exactly that. When you're really done with all your content, you can also customize the look. We have a design panel on the left. You can change the template anytime if you're not vibing with the one that you originally chose. Your content is safe. All it's going to change is the looks. And if you like the template but do not like the color palette that it comes with, you can also modify that. You can click through all the different palettes that Copyfolio has, and you will see on the side how your site would look with that palette. When you chose one, you can still scroll here, go to different pages, so that's really handy. Or if you have, let's say, a very specific brand color that you want to use, you can also just click over to the custom tab and create a palette for yourself. First, you have to choose the main color, which you can do with either like this color picker, or you can add an RGB, HSL, or hex code, or you can even use this little pipette and find a color from a picture that you have on the side. So if you have a picture of your color palette, you can just upload it as a picture, use the pipette, build your palette, and then just delete that picture from your site. Once you have your main color, let's, I don't know, choose this orangey color here, then you can choose the different shades for different things like your headings, your paragraphs, buttons, shapes, and the background too. And then put together a color palette that you like. You do have to be a premium member to do that though. Apart from the colors, you can also change the fonts. There's a bunch of font pairs that you can choose from, and the good thing about these is that whenever you change the fonts like this, it will change it on your whole site, so you don't actually have to go through every section on every page to change the fonts. It's just one click and it's done. That's it for the design, and let's see what we have for you in the settings, because as a freelance writer you want to look as professional as possible, and that includes having a custom domain. Luckily, you can super easily do that here. If you already own one, you can just connect it, but if you don't have one yet, you can just click Get a New Domain. By default, Copyfolio will search for yourname.com, and see, this one is actually available, so I could just click Purchase, and it will be automatically set up for me and connected to my site. It literally takes a few minutes. It's amazing. Or if you have something else in mind, you can use the search bar and find that. You can also set your site's privacy. So let's say you have some projects under NDA that shouldn't really be up on the internet, or simply you're just working on your site and you don't want anyone to see it yet. You can just set password protection, set a password, and whenever someone enters the URL of your site, they will just see a screen where they have to enter that password before seeing anything else. You can also customize your SEO options. So for every page on your site, you can change the meta title, URL slug, meta description, and upload a social media preview image, meaning if someone shares that page on, let's say, Slack, LinkedIn, Facebook, then that's the image that's gonna actually appear. You do also need to be a premium for that. You can also set a custom browser icon, because by default it's going to be the Copyfolio logo, but we have some very quick and handy presets for that, or you can also upload your own at the custom tab. And you can also make the Copyfolio banner disappear. When you are done with your site, which it so far took me about, 13 minutes, it was super quick, then you can just click View Site and see how your website looks live. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions left about creating your freelance writer website, then drop those in the comments. And also let us know if you want to see some examples, because we would be happy to show you some. Subscribe for other videos like this, and you can also follow us on social media, mainly TikTok and Instagram, though we also have a Pinterest. If you want more bite-sized and visual content from us, you can check out Copyfolio at copyfolio.io, and that's it for today. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.